Hi everybody, Lori here. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm excited to be a part of Altenew's February Marvelous Monthly Series release blog hop. And I have a fun project to share with you using some of these new Eclectic Bouquet products. Okay, let's start with the Eclectic Bouquet stamp set. As you can see, it's got a big bloom cluster there and some foliage, a few sentiments. There are a coordinating die set to cut out the bloom and the sentiments. There's a coordinating stencil set that allows you to blend the color into your blooms. And if that wasn't enough, there's a coordinating Eclectic Bouquet 3D embossing folder. So I was excited to try to use all four of these products on a project. I'm going to start by stamping this big floral cluster from the Eclectic Bouquet stamp set with this new Pink Sand Fresh Dye Ink. This is my first time trying these new round inks by Altenew, and I love this pink sand color. It kind of gives a bit of a no-line watercolor feel, that it gives you the outline, which helps you when you want to use a stencil, but it's not stark black. It's not competing or overpowering. It's just subtle in there. And I've always thought that Altenew has some of the best stamping inks around. They really stamp crisp and clean, and they never let you down. And there's about 5 million colors to choose from. Okay, moving on to the Eclectic Bouquet stencil set. There's 3 stencils in the set, and there's a few little positive pieces that pop out. You can use those as well if you want to blend around the exterior of a bloom. But I'm going to start with this bottom bloom here. I don't know why I'm out of breath. I just had to run downstairs because I had my dog Hank the Tank. I had him hooked up outside. He just always wants to be outside, but it's raining. And then I can hear him scratching at the window. And that means let me in. So I had to run down there and let him in. And he was all wet. And every time he comes in, he wants to have a treat. It's probably a bad habit that I've started, but he's a good boy, so I don't care. Okay, let's get back to the card. Okay, there's a lot of different ink colors I used. I used some Frosty Pink, Pinkalicious, can't remember the rest, but I'll have everything linked below. Basically, what I'm trying to do is get a nice gradient, gorgeous bloom here. So I'm adding the detail. Now, when I lift this up, you can see that detail is just way too stark. It needs to be muted down and kind of blended in. So I went back in with that darkest pink that I was using with the open bloom stencil and kind of gave it a once over to soften that contrast just a little bit. And I'm much happier with that. Okay, we're going to move on to the next bloom, and this one's going to be orange. So with my Altenew ink collection, I have every size known to man. I got the ovals, the classic ovals. These orange ones I just have in the mini cube. And I love this color orange cream. And then now I have the round ones. So listen, I'm already horrendous at organization. But then when you got ink, all the different sizes of inks, it's really a hot mess is what it is. I have them everywhere. I don't have very much storage space. I'm still in the side of my dining room. And I wish I had better storage space. Maybe one day I'll get it, but until then I got to keep it streamlined and try to keep it organized. So for this orange bloom, I got orange cream, autumn blaze, I think that's called, and I'll have it linked. I don't have all these ink colors memorized. This one here is Coral Bliss. So this bloom is going to be kind of a corally red bloom, and I love these 3 colors together, the pink, the orange, and the red. They look they look marvelous for this Marvelous Monthly series with Altenew. Okay, this dark pop of red, Heartbeat. Love it. So every time I add the detail stencil, then I go back in with the open bloom and kind of give it a once over to soften that contrast. And they're really popping. Now for the foliage, a little bamboo, one of my favorite green colors in the Altenew collection. It's really like a citrusy green, and then a little olive for that gradient love. And yeah, just going to town. I don't know about you, but whenever I have a coordinating stencil, it makes my day. It's like having a coordinating die, a coordinating stencil. I mean, I know one of these days I want to sit down, relax, and do a no-line watercolor feel. But most of the time, I'll love a coordinating stencil. I don't know, something about it just seems easier, like just to blend it in my mind. But, and I feel like it's forgiving too. You rarely get splotchy results when you're using a stencil. A lot of that excess ink kind of goes off on the stencil, and your blending is smooth as butter. Okay, I'm going to cut out this bloom. It's all blended using the coordinating die. And now here's where she gets exciting. Here's where your socks fly off. The coordinating 3D embossing folder. I've never done this before. Maybe you have, but for me, I'm a newbie. Okay, I'm putting this in, making sure it's lined up, run it through my die cutting machine, and forget about it. I mean, that is gorgeous. That is stunning. It's almost too good. Okay, so I didn't want to do much else, but I'm going to just flick a little black soot. This is Distress ink. I took a wet brush, just water. Listen, this is the most controlled, minimal flicking I've ever achieved. Right there you saw it, and I love it. I love a good, minimalistic, controlled black flick on a white card base with a colorful bloom. Now for a sentiment, keeping it simple again. This is one from the Eclectic Bouquet stamp set. And of course, there's a coordinating die, which allows you to just put that sentiment wherever you want it to go. And I'm going to layer it, just kind of tuck it right in with that bloom. I added a few little clear sequins here and there, and this card is finished. Make sure and check out the rest of the February Marvelous Monthly Series Release Hop with Altenew. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day, and I will see you next time.